he feels, reason why he would want to not settle. He feels that he did absolutely nothing wrong,
Yes.
which is kind of evident about him. It's kind of evident in him talking about the situation publicly, even turning his surveillance footage over to the police
Hmm.
willingly like that. He feels like he has nothing to hide, and to him, I kind of watched some of his videos last night, but he was seeming to say that um, it could be seen as an admission of guilt. It's
Yes.
not. When you settle yeah, just because you settle a case, it's not an admission of guilt. Like,
The attorney at law, Mr. Javier M. Bailey II, up on the screen, man. Appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Wow. How are you doing, first of all?
man, doing great, man. Man, like I said, glad to be here, man. Been waiting on this opportunity for a while now, it seems.
No, man, it's an opportunity for us. I know I've got a lot of questions. I know you have so much wisdom and insight to give on this topic as well. So definitely looking forward to it. It's an honor to have you here, and I appreciate you taking the time, because I know you got a lot going on and your time is super valuable as well.
Well, one, this is a civil lawsuit. The remedy is money. This is all that this is about is money, money, money. That is the remedy for this.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, dealing with criminal, the remedy is your freedom, it's your liberty.
Right.
That's really what you're fighting for on the criminal side, your life, your freedom. But this is not criminal. If DJ Akademiks somehow loses this lawsuit, he's not going to jail. It may hit his pockets, but
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely it sounded like, from what he was saying in the videos we reviewed yesterday, that he's ready to take this all the way. Now, I'm sure, as you know and have seen in some of the civil cases you handed, in a lot of cases it might not go to trial. I mean, is there a reason that you could say why it normally doesn't happen, or are we totally wrong and do most cases go to trial?
No, I wish I could have pulled up an actual percentage, but if I had to estimate, man, I would guess that probably about 95 to 97% of civil cases get settled out of court and don't go to trial.
Sheesh.
Yeah, because it's very formal. It's paper pushing. It's constant communication between both parties and both sides. So in the litigation process in the civil suit, they give you a lot of opportunity to try to resolve it before you actually get to court.
Right.
There's a lot of measures you go through to try to resolve this case before you actually have to go to trial and let a jury decide who's the winner from the case. But yeah, it takes a while though.
Yeah, it's just seeming like, at the end of the day, I'm sure you know this as an attorney, sometimes you got to put your pride aside and say, hey man, listen, these hours, they're going to stack up, and if you want to pay me, fine, but just know, if we go through this process, it's just going to be more of a headache, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I'll add this on with him. He feels, reason why he would want to not settle. He feels that he did absolutely nothing wrong.
Yes.
Which is kind of evident about him. It's kind of evident in him talking about the situation publicly, even turning his surveillance footage over to the police willingly like that. He feels like he has nothing to hide. And to him, I kind of watched some of his videos last night, but he was seeming to say that it could be seen as an admission of guilt.
Yes.
It's not. When you settle just because you settle a case, it's not an admission of guilt. But like I said, he has an interest to make these damaging allegations go away. But a settlement on his behalf with him doing nothing wrong could be seen as a shakedown, a successful shakedown.
That's true. Yeah. And I guess you could argue at some point that maybe it's better to, when it comes to your brand in the public eye, to be able to use the narrative of this being a shakedown versus you went to court and you potentially lost, and now you have that verdict against you. So absolutely, man. All right, well, if you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and get into this complaint. Now, before we get into it, you guys, anything you hear during this live stream is not legal advice. All right. This is not legal advice.
Thank you.
If you want advice, you can contact we'll get your information and find out what state you're in, and if you want people to contact you if they need to get you on retainer. But this is not legal advice. This is all opinions and thoughts, and we're just reviewing this as content. All right, here we go. Superior Court of New Jersey Law Division, Essex County, against, we've got, I've just been calling her Zaya because I don't know how to pronounce her first name, but we've got Miss Abashi, the plaintiff, versus Alan Livingston, aka DJ Akademiks. All right. So we're going to go through, read the introduction a little bit. We're not going to go through this too much because a lot of it just breaks down what we've already know in some sense. But I want to get Miss Abashi's side in here as well. So we got to give her credit. We got to give credit to Mr. Blackburn here who put this all together. So on or about July 16, 2022, the incident, defendant Allen contacted Miss Abashi, which is Zaya, and invited her to come to his house and visit him in New Jersey. Even though it had been almost a year since they last saw each other, Miss Abashi did not suspect any ill intentions and agreed. All right. She was accustomed to visiting Mr. Allen at his home in New Jersey, and Mr. Allen would send a car to pick her up. All right. So nothing out of the ordinary, it seemed like. Miss Abashi lives in Pennsylvania. On the day of the incident, when Miss Abashi arrived to enjoy her evening, little did she know that defendant Livingston Allen, Akademiks we'll call him, and his two accomplices, oh man, stuff that they use that word. Oh my gosh. Before we keep going, I hate to break it down here, Javier, but in these complaints, if you are the plaintiff, when it comes to the wording of the complaint, is it normal to assume guilt in the complaint, or is that a part of the process?
Yes, that's part of the process because you would assume you alleged facts. You allege that certain facts happen. And the reason why you would assume guilt or make statements like that in the complaint is because the defendant side, DJ Akademiks and his team, have to respond and answer to this lawsuit. Okay. Right. And that's something that I was going to discuss to you all. I think this lawsuit at the top, it said, I think it was filed May the 13th. Okay. Usually the defense side has 30 days from the filing of that lawsuit to answer this suit. So if this was filed 3 days ago, I'm expecting that DJ Akademiks team side will answer this lawsuit in the next 27 days. And how the answer will look, I don't know if you'll have it up whenever it does come out.
Yeah, for sure.
How answer to a lawsuit like this looks, it's not very complex at all. It's very straightforward. You go paragraph by paragraph and you either affirm or deny the allegations. That's how you answer a lawsuit. Okay. So they would, if you take this first paragraph on or about July 16th, contact, even though it's almost been a year, no ill intentions. DJ Akademiks' team may just affirm that. They may just agree to that. There's nothing really, out of the ordinary there. It doesn't, assert any liability on Mr. Allen or DJ Akademiks. Right. So you can see, defendant response to paragraph, affirms allegations in paragraph 1. That's how they would answer. And they just go paragraph by paragraph. Woo, man, this is so many hours, but we'll keep it moving. All right. It says the morning after the incident, we've got Miss Abashi was unaware of what happened. She only became aware after Mr. Allen showed her surveillance footage of her being assaulted by John Doe 1 and John Doe 2 on the pool deck. Wow. Which this does kind of back up what Akademiks said in his other videos. It says Miss Abashi was in shock and fearful after the reality of what had occurred set in. In the aftermath, Abashi reported Mr. Allen and his accomplices' actions to the police, and an SA kit was performed.
evidencing that Mitsubishi had been assaulted.